Mr. Ansu Dulleh, Executive Director of the National Disaster Management Agency of the Republic of Liberia. Welcome to AnewZ.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here with you this afternoon.
Thank you very much indeed. We know that Liberia is prone to extreme weather, and also there is a problem in terms of water management. How hopeful are you that decisions that are going to be taken here in Baku will be consequential for your country as well?
Well, we hope that decision taken here will be synchronized and aligned with our policy in Liberia as it relates to water management and climate change. So we are hopeful that things will happen regularly in the right trajectory. The negotiation is going on, and we are participating at all levels on the various negotiations. And when we hope that we will succeed in what we are doing here.
And how would you evaluate the progress attained so far? Today is day 9, of course. Negotiations will continue. And what is your sense of the decisions being made here? Are we moving in the right direction? Are you coming from the high-level meeting yourself now?
Yeah, so we cannot measure our success now until when the conference ends, and then we see the commitment of nations, the commitment of organizations to make good their promises at this COP. But all in all, the general management, the organization, the activities are also spread, and we actually adore that.
Indeed. Today is a Water Agriculture Day, and we know that the key focus will be on ensuring that water-inspired climate actions are properly integrated into the national determined contributions and national adaptation plans. More specifically, do you expect that some of the challenges your country and many other countries are facing in that regard will be somewhat mitigated?
Well, we have a lot of, especially in Liberia and West Africa, we have a lot of challenges,
yeah.
Especially in the food security area. Agriculture is one of our pillars in the arrest agenda by His Excellency President Joseph Nyuma Boakai. And so we hope, today is also the Agriculture Day, we are moving up and down. Our negotiator are negotiating and on how well we can have more farmers in agriculture, in food security, and so that we can be able to feed ourselves as it relates to mechanized farming, as it relates to the community, the dwellers in different communities, the people themselves have taken to themselves, owning their own destiny in the agricultural activity. Liberia have a vast agricultural land and that we can tap in. So we are very much cognizant of the fact that all nations are seeking the same thing we are seeking, but we are more confident that we can get what we want in this conference.
And indeed, there have been some criticism of COP system in general, the argument being that decisions are being made very, very slowly, and when there are actually commitments being made, they are not put into practice. I mean, quite a lot of criticism was levied at developed countries, saying that they have to triple their 100 billion pledge, and the sense is that we have to move from rhetoric into action, into practice.
Exactly, this is what we are saying. The last time there was $100 billion pledge.
Yes.
No nations are giving a cent in the $100 billion. So that was a failure. So what we are saying in the high-level meetings, in various negotiation room, is that this time round, and the irony is that there was a pledge of $1 billion that were not utilized, that were not even brought to the table. Now that was $100 billion. Now they are talking about almost $900 billion. You didn't get the $100 billion. Now we're talking about $900 billion. What is the commitment? What's the political will for nations to take it from rhetoric to reality? And that is the question we're asking in this COP. And this is what we are also saying. Liberia is saying, let the rhetoric remain as rhetoric, and let the metamorphosis, let it be changed into the reality, into practicality. Because every time we come to COPs, we have the rhetoric, we have the commitment, and nothing happened. And so we want this time round, Azerbaijan COPs should be a different scenario. It should be an action-oriented conference.
When it comes to raising that money, $1 trillion that we're all talking about, of course, one portion will come from developed countries, but also multilateral development bank should play an important role. Private sector. What are your expectations from the private sector in terms of raising that amount required?
Well, you know, the private sector too, they are very important in this. We have the expectation is there. We have a lot of big oil companies. We have motor companies, and they produce more vehicles, and the carbon is in the air, the emission is in the air. They should be responsible enough to contribute to this $1 trillion. You understand? So yes. We are hopeful, and between bilateral negotiation is going on among countries here, and people can be able to reach to different private organizations to see how well they can bring forth their part of contribution. But I want to tell you something. Somebody got to jumpstart the initiative, either from the private sector or from the governmental sector. The initiative, you have to have the courage, you have to have the political will to start something. Or else we'll come back again, we'll be going to Brazil for another COP, and there will be another rhetorics. So these are the things that we are advancing in all of our meetings.
And also, the question is not here just about money, but also proper implementation of it, proper use of the money. Some developed countries are saying that we may raise money, it is perfectly possible, but then effective, transparent implementation of that money in the context of a given developing country may be slightly problematic. What is your take on this subject?
And so we need more training, more capacity building. So the mechanism to get access to the money should also be clearly defined. It should be defined how the money will be used. The reporting system, for example, let's agree there have been some $811 million allocated for loss and damage. So how to allocate that money is a thing, how to get the money is another thing. The mechanism used to access the money is another thing. The reporting on the money is another thing. So we will expect for the United Nations Climate Change Program, or COPs, to put those mechanisms together, to put those methodology together, to make sure to know how the money will be accounted for transparently. Because there's another thing to commit the money, is another thing to be transparent, and the last one is to report on what the money will be used. So that thing, we are at a long way, but we have the synergy, right, to make these things happen. So let the methodology be developed from transparency to reporting. I think that will be better.
Well, thank you very much indeed for this opportunity. I'm so grateful.
I want to thank you very much for this great interview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.